You're listening to Bring Me the Axe. I'm Bryan White. I'm one half of this morbid equation, and I'm joined by my co-host and brother, Dave. Hey, Dave, how you doing over there?
Well, thank you for asking. I'm all right. I, earlier today, listened to that podcast, No Rogan. Now, just so people aren't confused, it's not the Joe Rogan show. It is a show where they listen to Joe Rogan and then debunk him.
Did you listen to the Elon Musk episodes?
I listened to the Elon Musk episodes, and I am here to tell you something that you and fortunately lots of other people already know. Elon Musk is the fucking worst person in the world.
Yeah, without fucking question. If I ever met him, I would uppercut him so fucking hard he'd go into orbit.
It's just not happened to me very often. I was shouting at my phone, essentially, because of what they were talking about. They were talking about trans stuff. And it is the most... So first of all, Joe Rogan is the dumbest motherfucker on the air.
And he is still like super enamored of Elon too. He's like the last person on earth who doesn't think that he's a gigantic fucking fraud and a piece of shit.
Yeah, you could say anything to Joe Rogan and his response is, wow, really? And it's like, dude, yeah, that is so clearly not true. Why are you just accepting this?
I watched not to get you off track, but I watched a Climate Town video. It's a guy on YouTube who does stuff about climate change and the climate crisis. And his was this like 30-minute takedown of this article that Rogan always points back to that says that we're in a cooling period and that like the whole climate thing is like a fraud. And he's like, you fucking, and he points out exactly why. And it was really nice because I looked at the chart and I was like, yeah, it does kind of look like the temperature's going down. And then he's like, no, you dummy. Here's why.
Well, here's the interesting thing is Joe Rogan is a recent climate denialist. He, on a previous episode from like 4 or 5 years ago with Candace Owens, he is like a staunch defender of climate science. Like aggressively so with Candace Owens. And then 3 or 4 years later, he's just like, the whole thing is a hoax. Why? Because he's a fucking idiot. He's a very stupid person who can be convinced of anything. Elon Musk, on the other hand, is just a straight up liar. He just says the most outrageous shit. And it's so obvious that like his entire worldview is shaped by whatever he sees on probably Twitter. And I can't tell if he is just a horrible bad faith actor who is just exploiting all of this, or if he genuinely believes it. Either way, he's a monster, and somebody should put him away for good. Interpret that however you want.
My impression of Elon Musk is very much that he is a bad faith actor, like through and through. I think that I don't believe that he actually believes in anything. Are you aware of the recent sort of like the Joyce Carol Oates situation with him?
I saw what she wrote.
She roasted the shit out of him in a very Joyce Carol Oates kind of way and then continued to just like dunk on him over and over. And it was really fucking funny. But her criticism... Which
is amazing because Joyce Carol Oates, not really known for her humor.
No, but also she wasn't being funny, but it was just...
it's just pretty
because
savage.
The way she's very dry and the way that she was going at him was very funny. But the thing, her sort of... The kind of big revelation that kind of came of this is that Elon does not partake of culture in any sort of way.
No.
He does not read. He does not watch TV. He does not watch movies. He does not listen to music, which is
memes. Memes. Thing. Anytime someone tells me I don't like music, I'm like, that's not possible.
That's
you
not
must
possible.
be a psychopath.
That is not fucking possible. And so like to me, upon like just looking at him and knowing these sort of things that I've got, because he lives very publicly and he just can't fucking not be posting all the time. Like my understanding of the man has been formed through his very, what I believe to be a very earnest presentation through Twitter. And because of that, I think that he's just this like fucking empty vessel that will, and he's kind of like a black hole in the sense that like you can just put shit in, heap anything upon him and it just gets sort of crushed into this sort of singular point at the center of his being. And he's constantly empty. And so the fact that he's like a trillionaire now or whatever the fuck, or is about to be. I don't care because I know that he every day is fucking, for him, is worse than the last.
Yeah,
and that's miserable. And there is a gnawing emptiness at the center of him that can never, ever be filled. And when he fucking dies, he will die alone.
Yeah, that is the only solace that I can find in all of this is that he lives with a tremendous amount of psychic pain.
It's great.
And he has earned all of it.
I feel so good about that. I feel so fucking good about that. Yeah. Yeah, but hey, movies, right? Yeah, it's good. You got to get that shit off your chest because, you get a little window into these people's lives and it bums you out.
I was getting all wound up.
Well, let's unwind with a little necrophilia, shall we?
Oh, yikes.
So we practically grew up in neighborhood video stores, and the steady diet of utter garbage those shops provided us continues unabated to this day. And there's nobody else I enjoy chopping it up with more about trashy movies than Dave. Just before we get into it, here's the little housekeeping for you. If you want to keep up with us between episodes, you can also find us on Instagram at Bring Me the Axe Pod. Dave's over there at That Werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
We just posting stuff, posting pictures, art, memes.
I just got a ton of great Universal Monster posters.
Ooh, that one that you sent me, the Creature of the Black Lagoon. Ooh,
that was even the wrong one. That wasn't even the one I ordered.
Are you going to get the right one?
I am. I've worked it out with them.
Oh, nice. But you get to keep that one?
No, unfortunately, I do not.
Okay. Yep. I took a little, if you haven't listened to our last 99-cent rental, I took a clip of one of my favorite segments of the episode, and I just posted a little short version of that when I ended up at the role-playing table of some strangers, and it went very badly. Yep. But speaking of the
takeaway is don't play role-playing games with strangers. They will try to do sex to you every time.
Or kill you. I'm not convinced that if I did not leave when I did, that I might have gotten hurt.
Florida in the early 2000s? Yeah, the odds were very good.
Yep. Speaking of the 99-cent rental, if you don't know, we got another show called 99-cent rental where we cover all manner of video store madness on the weeks Bring Me the Axes Off. Our latest episode covering mazes and monsters with a friend Tyler Hyde from That Spooky is out now. We'll be back next week with a look at the baffling Karate Kid ripoff, Karate Warrior.
So good. Where the kid has blood on his face inexplicably for pretty much the entire movie.
That's because he keeps getting his ass kicked.
Well.
Yeah, by Filipino toughs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can also contact us directly at bringmetheaxepod@gmail.com with any questions, comments, or suggestions. Do let us know if there's a movie that you love, would like to hear us give it the business. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you can look us up over there at patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod. There's a couple of tiers you can join there. Subscribers at the $5 a month tier can look forward to our bi-weekly X-Files rewatch pod. Do you think I'm spooky? What is it? Dwayne Barry's out now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, classic episode.
Dwayne Barry, a little Steve Railsback. It's the episode where Scully goes missing for a little while because Gillian Anderson's off having a baby. You get a lot of sweat, a lot of fear. Mm-hmm. There's also our Bring Me the Axe Millennium Edition episode. It's a bonus episode in which we explore a modern horror movie. Our new one's right around the corner, but the one that we got out right now is The Orphanage.
Dark.
Pull that ending. God damn it. I'm not getting over that anytime soon. Yep. And all Patreon subscribers, even the free tier, get access to our Discord server. Paying members get access to additional channels, voice and video chat, and the watch parties option. Watch parties coming back. We're gonna get that shit back on track. Yep. I don't know. People be paying for that shit. So
once you gotta stop being a thespian from the island of Thesbos.
I know. I got the stage is taking my soul.
The theater.
Once again, that's patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod. We've also got new merch. They've dropped a couple of designs.
Not that, well, the newest one is up there because I couldn't figure out how to put it on pause. So
is that the children's one?
Yeah, I made a kid's t-shirt.
It's cute.
It is actually. I was quite proud of it. I think it is adorable.
Get yourself a t-shirt. Get yourself a hoodie. Get your kids a shirt.
Yeah. You know what children love? Giallo.
They love Dario Argento. They love Italian cinema.
They do.
Yep. Lastly, if you like what you hear, you can subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube. Search us by name and subscribe if you prefer to consume your podcasts that way. And you'll be doing us a favor by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So do it. I don't know why you haven't yet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, how many times have your children were they like, oh, I want to watch Cat O' Nine Tails. Oh, I want to watch City of Living Dead. Kids love Italian horror. Get in there and buy them a shirt.
This is true. Yep. And if you listen on YouTube, do us a favor. Give the episode a like and leave a comment. We love hearing from you guys. Oh, yeah. And by the way, the link to buy the merch is going to be in the show notes. Just check out the notes. Click the link. Go ahead. Get yourself a shirt. Just want to get that all out of the way.
We make no money on it. It's all for funsies.
Yeah, we can get that all out of the way right at the top of the show because Here's a trailer. Here's a
I don't
trailer.
like to think about it, but it's something everybody needs. Why don't you decide now?
Hi, Christie.
Look at
It'd be weird, too, if I had Hank Andrews for my father. And on top of that, locking me up in a mortuary when I was a kid with dead bodies.
No kidding. Mother, what's wrong? Somebody was following me. Who? I don't know.
Do you suppose it could be your overactive imagination again?
I never used to sleepwalk before my father was murdered.
He's got a crush on you.
Are you jealous?
I hate being an embalmer. Nobody wants to date me. They all think I'm weird.
What's your excuse for being weird?
Being around you. Why do you do it? My father wants me to.
No, I want to see what's in there.
There's nothing in there but a bunch of junk from the mortuary.
I want to find out what's going on.
Christie, wait!
Tell me the truth.
Maybe they got rid of my father, and now they're trying to make me think I'm crazy.
It just doesn't do you any good to be spooked up like this.
Are you sure that it wasn't just part of your nightmare?
Yes, I saw him.
Honey, you're dreaming, having a bad dream.
No, there was someone out there. I saw him.
Give me the knife.
It's weird.
It gets even weirder.
You're probably glad he's dead because of...
You were trespassing and stealing.
I saw you.
To a good night's sleep and peace. Peace.
Get out of here before I embalm you.
Whew.
My God.
Well, there she is.
Yep, that's it.
A
Actually,
trailer that is longer than it needs to be.
that trailer, that is actually not the theatrical trailer. That's the trailer from the MVD release.
Do you care to say why?
Here, hang tight.
Oh, nice. You play the other one.
I'm going to play the other one. I actually think it's a better trailer.
Before your funeral and your coffin lid is closed, before you are buried and your flesh turns cold, before you are covered with the last shovelful of dirt, be sure you are really dead. Mortuary.
Do you think that people saw that trailer and then went to see the movie and they were like, what is this? Where's that other movie?
Maybe. There is a note about that trailer that I could not corroborate, but I'm going to say it anyways because I think it's fucking funny. The company that got the movie, because originally this was, I think, was going to be distributed by Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
They bought it off of them for like nothing, and then they cut that trailer to promote the movie. And the rumor is, according to sort of unspecified people on the crew, was because the distributor saw the movie and was like, "There's nothing good in this movie to show off."
It's true. I mean, in their defense, it is an extremely tasteless film.
I feel like I may have oversold this one in the run up to it because the last time I watched this, I really, really liked it.
It's not very good.
And I was very excited to put it on the list. And then I watched it this time and it occurred to me, like, while just like taking notes, just how fucking tedious this movie is.
Yeah. It's like, what if Pieces didn't have any of its charm?
Yeah, like it's not entirely charmless. It has some wild performances.
Mm-hmm.
The premise is very, very strange. There are some just qualities about the story that are in there for reasons unknown. There's this whole like satanic coven subplot that just never gets explained. It is never resolved.
Well, the movie is Mortuary.
Yeah, Mortuary is the movie that we're talking about. So Jesus, fucking very, very silly movie. So, anyways, let's dive in. So, the year was 1982.
I remember it well.
Kind of, or that was the Paramount limited release. The movie was actually released in 1983, in wide release by Film Ventures International. So we're gonna go with that. I know we're gonna go with 1982.
Yeah.
So here were some other movies released in 1982. The Living Dead Girl. A little late era genre law.
Living Dead Girl. I don't think I've seen it.
It's a good one.
I've seen a lot of genre law. I don't know if I've seen it.
His obviously like his strongest, most fertile period is like right in the middle of the 70s. This is toward the end when like he's starting to kind of run out of money and
I don't know. I kind of like some of those 80s ones. When does Iron Rose come out? That one's really good.
That's a late one too. Yeah, I like that might be my favorite.
Demoniacs is my favorite, but Iron Rose is really good.
Yeah, Lips of Blood I like a lot too.
That is also my favorite. It's a tie. Lips of Blood and Demoniacs.
Yeah, we've also got Manhattan Baby.
Ooh, that is not a good movie.
Not a good movie. No, this is Fulci on the downslide.
That's everybody on the downslide. Fritzy on the downslide is everybody.
Fabrizio De Angelis is like, man, fuck y'all. I can make these movies myself.
He was like, well, you're going to New York anyway. Can you just film another movie while you're there?
Because the same year he made New York Ripper. We've also got Midnight. Hyper grimy movie by John Russo.
I don't know if I've ever actually seen a movie that John Russo directed.
What is it? Grindhouse is putting it out.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm on board. They do a fucking great job with everything. So.
Yep. And then with a movie with a little bit of relation to this one, Pieces came out in 1982.
Nice.
Yep,
That's a great film.
We love Pieces, don't we, folks? And closing it out, 1982, X-Ray.
Wow. Back-to-back bangers.
Yep. Pieces, movies we've covered. Pieces falls real early in our oeuvre.
Yeah, should we redo it? Oh, yes, we should.
Oh, we should definitely redo that one at some point. We burned a couple of real classics early on.
I know, we wasted it.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll get that shit worked out. And X-Ray speaks for itself. We've been cheering for that one for like a couple of years now.
It's true. I love that movie.
Crazy fucking movie. Yep. And so we've got a director. Howard Avitas. Yep.
Okay.
An exploitation director with a truly scuzzy pedigree.
Teacher, the substitute.
Oh, hang on. His first feature, The Stepmother, was fairly prescient to the future of pornography, where a woman seduces her stepson and then some murderous shit results.
I have seen that one.
Oh, you have? It sounds terrible.
I used to. You remember Mill Creek?
No.
Mill Creek's like an entertainment conglomerate, I guess. They're the ones that put out like those, like the 50 film DVD sets. Like you can buy them at like Walmart and shit. They put out like a real crappy drive-in grindhousey collection a long time ago, probably early 2000s on DVD. And it was like that. It was like the hitchhiker bullshit, like stuff like that. The Pickup, like a real, like low budge Roger Corman sleaze. Yeah. And that was on that.
Oh, good God.
Like Pink Angels was also on that, which is a gay biker movie from the 70s.
God damn.
It's a great movie. It's not. It's a fucking terrible movie, but it's really fun.
His second feature, The Teacher, starred Jay North of Dennis the Menace as a high schooler.
Seen that one too.
Have you?
Same place.
Oh, God. As a high schooler who, for lack of a better term, stalks one of his teachers in a movie described as a coming-of-age erotic thriller.
Yikes.
You can see a pattern emerging here.
It's very sexy stuff.
He caps off the trifecta following this early slasher attempt with yet another younger man, older woman movie with Sybil Danning in They're Playing with Fire, where a young man stalks his teacher and murder is the result.
Will it surprise you to know that his wife is older than him?
Nope. Nope. Because my next note says it's safe to say that The Graduate had a profound effect on Avedis.
Yeah.
Yeah. For all his grimy tendencies, Avedis never went back to the horror well after Mortuary.
He didn't make many movies after Mortuary.
Well, he made a bunch, like mostly in the 80s, but they're all like those kind of like, it's a little sexy, mostly.
Yeah, they're like drive-in grindhouse movies.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like some kind of like dumb comedy shit.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Minx.
Yeah. So our cast, we got Bill Paxton making his third appearance on the pod since his small role in Streets of Fire on 99 Cent Rental.
No, I think he shows up in what was the first one we did there?
The first one, well, he's also in Butcher Baker.
Yeah, that's the first one we did.
Yeah. But yeah, this is his last appearance. But yeah, he's been on here 3 times now.
Oh, he's going to be on here more too.
Oh, fuck yeah, he is. We should all aspire to the enthusiasm and confidence of Bill Paxton.
What a guy. You know, is he a good actor in these movies? No, absolutely not.
But my God, I love his energy so goddamn much.
He brings something. He has a kind of je ne sais quoi that you really love. He's a good looking dude in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. He's got great energy. And it was like when we did Butcher Baker, like watching some of the supplemental materials to do when we were doing research, like everybody talked about him because he's in it for just a little bit. And everybody was just like, he was on set, even when he didn't need to. He was constantly trying to figure out like how everything works on the set. He wanted to know about every aspect of filmmaking. And I was like, God damn, yeah, fucking A.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate that. As someone who, when I really am into something, I am really into something. Thanks, ADHD. I appreciate that he's just kind of like, I'm going to find out fucking everything there is to know.
He's awesome in Near Dark as the punk rock outlaw vampire Severin, a role that he pulled down from James Cameron's recommendation after turning it out as the cocky Private Hudson in Aliens.
Game over, man.
Yeah, delivering one of horror's greatest one-liners. He seems to have so many connections to many of the movies that we've covered here. After this movie, he turns up in a made-for-TV body count movie called Deadly Lessons. Are you aware of this one?
Made for TV. I mean, yeah. I'm familiar with the movie. I didn't think it was made for TV.
Yeah, made for TV, directed by William Wired, who you might remember for directing the made for TV movie This House Possessed.
I believe it's Wired.
Is it?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah, I think that maybe it was Vinegar Syndrome might have put that out. Somebody put that out.
Okay. Yep. Paxton died entirely too young in 2017 as a result of some surgery he had to fix a defect in his heart.
That's fucked.
I know. So goddamn sad. He went to go get something fixed and they fucked it up.
This is like that time I went to my doctor and for like a physical and she's like, I think you're having an aortic aneurysm. And I was like, are you sure about that? And she's like, you need to go to the emergency room right now. Well, she's no longer my doctor.
We've also got Mary Beth McDonough.
Ooh.
Yep. The ladies with 3 names were shaking their TV reputations in 1982. Melissa Sue Anderson of Little House on the Prairie slummed it the same year for Happy Birthday to Me.
That's a great movie.
I fucking love that movie. God damn it. Yep. While Mary McDonough was breaking free from nearly 10 years on the Waltons.
Now, I want to say Melissa Sue Anderson, she has a certain kind of charm to her. Mary Beth McDonough, less so.
Yep. After a few feature roles, including one incredibly dark and tasteless one called Funland.
Oh, that's a tough and sleazy movie.
Yeah, it is. I think her name is Catherine Cummings.
I don't remember. I just remember it has something to do with the mob and a clown.
Yeah. The clown is what is his name? Ben Berger? Or something like that.
I watched it not that long ago.
It looks like it's very, very dark, but it's actually kind of silly.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. If were it not for the violence, you'd think it was a TV movie.
Right. Yeah. Which you could also say about this movie.
Oh, 100%. This movie feels just like a TV. As an aficionado of television films, this feels like a TV movie through and through.
Oh yeah, save that for when we get to it, because goddamn, that happens every now and then. Like we'll watch a movie and I'll be like, "Was this made for TV?" And then somebody gets their head chopped off, or they go naked, and it's like, "Oh no, it's definitely not."
Yeah. Speaking of made-for-TV movies, Mary Beth McDonough was also in a movie called Midnight Offerings, which is a movie where she plays like a teenage witch who's like killing her boyfriend's, I don't know, her boyfriend's like a football player. I can't
Say
remember.
more.
It's a great kind of early, I think it's early 80s, maybe late 70s, but she plays like a teenage witch who's like killing her boyfriend's competition for, I don't know, the football team or some shit.
I love that. I love that. Is there a rap scene like top that? Like she's a teen witch?
No, it doesn't. It is not. It's not a fun film. It does not have that kind of vibe to it. They didn't do. That's some late 80s shit.
Yeah, it is. Yep, she found success booking guest roles on TV, most recently appearing in 3 Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
One of them, a fully licensed Christmas movie about the Kansas City Chiefs.
Haven't seen that one.
Yep.
I would definitely not watch. I would skip that one.
What is your criteria for watching one of those? Because we're coming up hot on the time of year.
I know my season is coming up. I don't really have a lot. Like if it's got who's the one from Mean Girls?
Amanda Seyfried?
No.
Lacey Chabert.
Yeah, Lacey Chabert. Yeah, if she's in them, I'll definitely watch that. She's like top shelf stuff. Yeah, it's got like, I don't want anything that has to do with like a soldier coming home, skipping it. Anything that has to do with like there's an obvious religious undercurrent to it.
Yeah.
I skip those. Those are mostly the older ones. They don't do that anymore because I think they realize that that's not their audience really.
Yeah.
They're really into the gays right now. Just gay men, not women. Don't go crazy, everybody. Let's reel it in. Yeah, I'll pretty much watch anything. I've got my favorite stars. Paul Campbell, great. I'll watch anything with him in it. Jonathan Bennett, also from Mean Girls.
Okay.
Watch anything with him in it. He is the gay in question. He usually plays the gay character. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of standards for that or anything really. When it comes to my romantic relationship, I just lucked out.
Oh shit. Rounding out our cast, we got David Wallace, who we literally just saw in our last 99 Cent Rental episode.
Back to back.
Yep, Mazes and Monsters. He sometimes goes as David Wysocki, which is likely his real last name. He's got a real soap opera classic aesthetic about him with that terrible Leif Garrett hair. But I'm willing to cut him a little slack since he's got soap opera credits. 200 plus episodes of General Hospital. 90 episodes of Days of Our Lives, and 1 episode of The Young and the Restless.
I feel like that's nothing. 90 episodes? People would look at that and be like, amateur.
I know. He was on something for like a couple of months.
It's like he walked through the set one day. Yeah. He's also in a TV movie called The Babysitter, which is not very good. But if those of you listening listen to Stacey Ponder's website, listen to her podcast, Final Girl, I think she just did The Babysitter on her show.
I do believe you're right, yeah.
It's not a very good movie, but he's in that.
No. He followed this one up with the truly tasteless and grimy hillbilly mutant slasher movie, Humongous.
No, that's not even good enough for this show.
No, that one's a tough hang. I watched that one last year and it was pretty disappointing. So we got a couple of taglines here. Before your funeral, before you are buried, before you are covered with the last shovelful of dirt, be sure you are really dead.
Does it have anything to do with the movie? No. Is it too long? Yes.
It covers like the entire, like this movie's got a fucking awesome poster. Like it's got that going for it. It covers the entire headstone on the poster.
Last time I was in, we went to Veneer Syndrome in Toronto and they have posters in the basement. I was like flipping through them and they had this one.
Nice. Yeah. We've also got, you are cordially invited to a wedding at the Mortuary.
That one does have to do with the movie. It kind of gives away the ending, though.
And lastly, Mortuary, where nobody rests in peace. Yeah. So, this one right here, sadly, was Christopher George's swan song. It died 2 months after its release.
Yep. I love Christopher George. I'll watch him in fucking anything. He's in a movie called The House on Green Apple Road, which is a made-for-TV movie from like 1969 maybe. And it was a pilot for a show that I cannot remember the name of that I think eventually had Tom Selleck or something, Burt Reynolds maybe in it. But the movie is a fucking stacked cast. Janet Leigh is in it as well. She plays a woman who gets like brutally murdered in her kitchen.
Shit.
And then it's kind of just unfurls from there. He's in that. It's a great movie. I watched the show. Fucking sucks.
No, I do. I love seeing him in anything when he's with his wife.
Mm-hmm. And fun fact about her. Well, fun fact, also kind of a sad fact. When he died, she was like, I don't really feel like acting anymore.
Yeah.
She just sort of stopped.
Yeah, I think we pointed that out in our Pieces episode because they're also in Pieces together. Would have loved to have seen her in City of the Living Dead.
They actually met, I believe, on the set of House on Green Apple Road.
Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, the two of them. I mean, they just seem to enjoy working together. It's
like Rob Zombie and his wife there, where it's like you can just tell like there's a vibe where like they really dig each other, which is good because they're married. So, you gotta at least like the person next to you. Well, I guess you don't have to. I mean, look at Republicans.
Right. But this is the end. This is the end for them. Goddamn. Hollywood power couple.
Not really. She wasn't a very good actor, and neither was he, for that matter.
B-movie power couple.
Yeah, closer.
Yeah. This was originally picked up by Paramount for distribution, and then the studio tested it out with a limited release in Arizona.
I mean, to be fair, it's Arizona.
What are you doing? I know.
Yeah. So they picked this up around this. Like, this is the slasher boom. Well, this is actually the fall of the slasher boom, really. But, like, this is when they're picking up My Bloody Valentine. Like, they're grabbing movies left and right, trying to cash in on.
Oh yeah, they're trying to keep that Friday the 13th momentum going. So they're just snatching up all them movies.
But relative to the other movies they're grabbing, like My Bloody Valentine, all that shit that was Paramount was putting out, this movie is fucking garbage.
This is a hollow pretender.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. And it's curious and interesting, but
it's saved by a few very, very, very quirky elements to it. But as a whole, this movie is fucking trash.
Yeah, but like when you set it next to something like My Bloody Valentine, which in my opinion is an outstanding film, this,
Paramount also disappointed in that one.
Well, that's because they're wrong and stupid.
They are.
Well, by that point, they had been bought by Gulf and Western. So whoever was in charge knew nothing about film anyway. Not that I'm like defending, trashy horror movies. I will, but like that's not why they're wrong. They're wrong because all they cared about was money.
What was Gulf and Western's? Like, were they just sort of like a holding company? Like a
Gulf.
Oh,
Gulf
shit.
Oil.
The oil company.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. Because I sort of thought that they were going to be like the joke on 30 Rock, where like they get picked up by NBC is owned by GE, I think, in that one, and so like everything is a vehicle for like a new appliance.
Yeah, no, it was good. Like that was when some laws had changed. I can't remember what it was, but basically it allowed them to buy up all these companies. So all the studios, that's what essentially trashed them. It's what ended the kind of new American cinema movement, was that all these studios got bought up by major corporations who installed finance guys and who all they cared about was the bottom line. Like that's what that whole fucking, what's the kid stays in the picture? What's his name?
Robert
Town? No.
No. Robert Evans.
Bob Evans. Yeah. That dude, arguably not a good person, but he loved movies. That whole documentary is basically about like the fall of the studios.
Yep.
There you go. Fun little history lesson.
Yeah. So they tested it out. When it failed to live up to whatever expectations that they set for it, they scrapped it, sold it off to an indie named Film Ventures International. Who then went,
God bless them. God bless Film Ventures International. Because I'm going to tell you something about them. I love that company. I feel like I owe them something. I'm going to tell everybody a little bit about Film Ventures because they had a sort of a pattern of how they did stuff. They essentially made their mark in the US by buying Italian, mostly Westerns, like spaghetti Westerns, and releasing them in the US.
Oh, but shit, right. They did like the Trinity movies?
Yep. Which are, I will say, I'm not a big Western person. The Call Me Trinity, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That one and the second one is pretty good. There's a lot of good stuff there. Great fucking soundtracks. But so they like kind of hit it big with that. But then when things took a turn in the 70s, like nobody cared about Westerns anymore. And horror became popular. So they started doing, I mean, you could argue exactly what Paramount was trying to do. They were just doing it much cheaper and a little bit sleazier. So like The Exorcist gets popular. They make Beyond the Door.
Oh, right.
The Omen gets popular. They make The Visitor.
Oh,
a movie that is so near and dear to my heart.
I am looking over their list of movies, and it's like, yeah, no, I totally get it. Yeah. Fucking, and we've covered a bunch of them. They brought us Pieces.
Yep.
The House in Sorority Row.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking Pod People.
Yep. Not a good movie, but still.
No, but also by, I think that's once Pierre Simone.
Yep.
As well. Yeah. It stinks. What else is there? Yeah.
Vigilante.
Oh shit. Vigilante as well. Yeah.
Mutant. Incubus. They tried to cash in on Jaws with Grizzly and Day of the Animals.
Oh shit. Yeah. These
both
guys.
movies that I fucking love.
God damn.
Now,
yeah.
Here's the thing about them though. And this is apropos of something we were talking about recently. They ran into some pretty big legal trouble in the early 80s when they released a Jaws ripoff called The Last Shark.
Did they release that?
They certainly did. Now, they had gotten away with a lot.
Well, wait, did they produce that or was that produced in Italy and then
so it was produced in Italy. They were the distributor.
Okay.
In the
that's,
US.
That's Enzo Castellari, right?
That's a Castellari movie. And I can only assume Castellari, he must have just handed that off to someone else. That movie is ridiculous.
Oh, I guarantee that like Bruno Mattei was on it.
Yeah,
and he was
he
just like,
absolutely was.
He's like, here, Bruno, you make this movie and I'll just put my name on it.
This is a movie. This is a Jaws ripoff in which the shark is literally just a solid piece of, I'm going to guess, paper mache. And when it bursts out of the water, it's very clear that someone is just underneath pushing this solid piece of shark out of the water. It is hilarious and wonderful all at the same time. I think it might be on our schedule for next year. Oh. Anyway, the thing that happens is, I think it's like 82 or 84, Universal catches wind of this and they're like, hey man, you can't just do that. And they were like, oh yeah, we can. And they were like, no, you can't. And they took him to court. And it basically ruined their company.
Oh,
because
shit.
The court ruled in favor of Universal, and a few years later, they filed for bankruptcy. So that terrible Jaws ripoff killed this film company. But I love so many of the movies. Fucking I might watch Day of the Animals later because I own it. It's fantastic. You get to see Leslie Nielsen fight a bear after trying to rape an old lady.
Oh, no. Wait,
yeah.
He does or the bear does?
He does. Oh. It's that age-old, man, would you prefer the man over the bear question?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I love this company because, well, I like bad movies.
Yeah.
I've just outed myself as bad movie watcher.
They were firmly in command of bad movies, too.
I mean, The Visitor. The Visitor is so good.
The Visitor is baffling. Yeah. Like, what kind of movie are you making?
All of them. All of the movies at once.
Yeah, it's a perfect movie for when you want every Antichrist possession movie, but you only got 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Little girl gets a gun for her birthday and immediately shoots her mother. Then she gets a falcon that she can command to kill.
Oh, shit. Is that on the list? That ought to be
also,
on the list.
Shelley Winters is in it, doing the absolute least.
Very, very confused Shelley Winters in that movie.
God, I love that movie.
Put that shit on the list if it's not on it.
I will. Also, one of my favorite soundtracks.
It's pretty good.
Franco Michelizzi. It's an outstanding soundtrack.
Yeah. So, in spite of being an objectively terrible movie, Mortuary was among the top 20 highest growing films for 1983.
Well, see, this is the deal. They had cranked out all these horror movies, and what do we know about horror movies in the 80s? Everybody will go see that shit because they don't fucking care.
Well, check this out. So it was made on a budget estimated to be a little less than $1 million, and it only pulled down about $5 million in box office alone. And so based on that number, 1983 must have just been a dog shit year for movies.
Well, 82, you've got some bangers. 84 is the year that broke cinema, essentially. So you've got this lull. I can't, like, off the top of my head, I can't even tell you what came out in 1983.
Well, here, I'll give you an idea. So Terms of Endearment was the number one for the year.
Okay, that is a good film.
Mortuary ended up at 19 of 20 for the year, right below The Right Stuff, but above Disney's ecological drama Never Cry Wolf.
Okay.
Yeah. Remarkably,
What else is on that list?
let me tell you what else is on there. Enzo Castellari's New Barbarians also made the list for that year, ending up at number 16 at the American box office.
I pre-ordered that on Blu-ray, and I'm still waiting for it.
Really?
Yes.
Isn't that the one that's in the 3-play box with Bronx Warriors?
No, oh yeah. I'm thinking of the Barbarians. New Barbarians. Really? Is that New Barbarians?
Yeah, New Barbarians.
The one with okay.
Fred Williamson and guy from Anthropophagus. I can never. What's his name?
Well, Al Cliver is the star of that one.
Yes. Wait. Yes, you're right. You're right. Because I was convincing. I think he's also the star of Endgame, which I also
He is in Endgame,
which I also confuse with New Barbarians.
That's the unofficial fourth film.
Oh no shit. Okay.
Which it has nothing to do with it. They were just made around the same time.
Right.
No, I'm thinking of the Barbarians. Then that's the one I'm waiting on.
Ah, gotcha.
That's the one that's like a Conan ripoff.
Ah, yeah. Oh boy. What do the press think of this here movie?
Well, I want to tell you a little bit about the people involved in the movie.
Oh shit. Okay.
Because there's not much to say beyond that, but I do think that's kind of interesting. Is that the husband and wife team that made this? So it's the what's his face, the guy who directed it.
Howard Avitas.
Yeah, and so his wife Marlene Schmidt. So she is his wife. They made all these movies together. Apparently, these movies have like a sort of autobiographical slant to them.
Okay.
Which I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Telling on yourself a little bit there. But hey, you know what? You do what you got to do to be happy. So, she was German. He was, I believe, Egyptian. I think.
He was born in Iraq.
Okay. I mean, same thing, basically, right? Am I right? Yeah. So she's German, and before she meets him, she gets a master's degree, and she is an electrical engineer. And then she was like, you know what? I want to be in beauty pageants. So she wins Miss Germany in 1961.
Oh,
then
shit.
She goes on to win Miss Universe the following year.
Oh, my God.
But then she was like, you know what? Being a beauty pageant winner and electrical engineer, not for me. I'm going to be a screenwriter instead.
Huh.
And then they went and made these fucking terrible movies. I just thought that was like kind of a fun fact.
That's fun. They're like they're sort of like Michael and Roberta Findlay.
Less sex.
Less porn.
Less helicopter death. Less horrifying death. If anyone is confused by what I'm talking about, Michael Findlay was killed when a helicopter spun out of control and he was hacked to pieces in the blades.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Enjoy that thought. Well, I will tell you about what the critics thought.
Okay.
They did not think much of this film. They, in fact, thought very, very little of this film.
You don't say.
Let me tell you about the old frosty lady from the Boston Globe.
Okay.
Michael Bowen of the Boston Globe. I feel like Michael Bowen was the film critic like until 2 years ago. Michael Bowen, Boston Globe, Mortuary, the latest gore bore, got him, is a cauldron of specious effects, crippled direction, and acting as moving as the corpses. Mr. George plays the mortician with all the subtlety of Mr. T. Except for the final wedding scene, Mortuary is as stiff as the killer's victims. Ba-dum-bum.
Condescending, but also kind of right?
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. 100%. The Los Angeles Times, Linda Gross.
Okay, Linda Gross.
My girl Sheila Benson. I don't know where she's been at lately, but Linda Gross, Los Angeles Times. Less is more would have worked here. Instead of a tight, scary little thriller, Avedis and Schmidt have written a bloody, ludicrous, overly explicit, pathological horror story. Avedis generally bludgeons the viewer, going for the obvious shocks and scares over plot.
Yeah.
Now, J.A. Connor from the Santa Cruz Sentinel. Mortuary is one of those clinkers where advertisements have been borrowed from some other picture, namely the one they wish they had made instead of this dreary mess. Mr. Evadus is content to rewrite second-rate Robert Bloch, who wrote Psycho, for people who don't know, imitations, rather than try thinking for himself. Mortuary is just another stiff. Its grave deficiencies make this undertaking more pathetic than usual. I mean, I guess a little bit of bonus points for being real clever there, a little play on words. But, no, he didn't like it. Finally, George Williams, Sacramento Bee. Mortuary is a movie made in 1981 that is so embarrassingly bad its creators decided to put it on a shelf as an act of mercy. But after seeing the crop of really crummy films dumped on the public in the summer of 1983, they decided to go ahead and release Mortuary. It has a third-rate cast culled from television's unemployable list, sick burn.
Oh,
and
shit.
Even
Be nice.
these actors seem too good for the story, and the rest of the movie is just limp. I do feel like, the Georges catching some strays there. They
I
don't
know.
deserve that.
Cut it out. Be nice.
Yeah, George Williams, where's your fucking movie, huh, buddy? I mean, the fact is, this movie sucks. It's not good. It's boring.
I mean, you can't really dispute that. There are times when I was like, shit, is this still on?
Yeah, no, but at the end, Michael, who was not paying attention, he was like, had headphones on, was doing something else. He looked over and he's like, I can tell you're really bored.
Yeah. So we're going to try to make this, we're going to try to spruce this shit up, make it lively.
Oh, well, I will do my best.
Here we go. I'm going to do my best over here, make it interesting. We open on a house in Malibu. A young woman pulls up and enters. Out back, we get this weird soft focus shot of the pool.
Real sexy, dreamy sexy.
A shadow approaches a dude as he tans. And the shadow,
and what we hear in the background, I will say, is what I believe is supposed to be a heartbeat, but what actually sounds like someone dragging luggage down a flight of stairs.
Yeah. The shadow appears to be wielding a baseball bat as the oblivious dude just sits there and smokes and tans.
Yeah, it is. This is 1981.
Yeah. The bat strikes, sending him and his saggy handbag tan into the pool where he appears to drown.
Yeah, there's a real George Hamilton about him.
He looks like he looks kind of like how Mel Gibson looks now.
Ugh. Yuck. The beginning of this movie and literally the rest of the entire movie just screams made for TV. I don't know if it's the quality of the film they're using.
We have done a few movies that are R-rated features that look like made for TV movies, and I can't tell if it's sort of the way that, like, maybe it's just a sort of flat presentation of the shot. Like, there's no real dynamism to the way things look. It's shot like it's a TV movie, but also the soundtrack's not really doing it any favors. It sounds like library music. It's not. It was a composition made for this movie by the guy who did like.
He did the his name is John.
He did Airport 75 and 77. I
think it's John Cassavetes is his name. He did Airport 75, Airport 77. He did the Satanic Rites of Dracula. He did Horror Express, which is actually a pretty good score. And in yet another callback to the last episode of 99 Cent Rental, he did Still the Beaver.
Shit. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, he's a real deep cut guy. Like if you get into library music and soundtracks and stuff like that, there will be your top tier, there will be your mid tier, and then there will be your John Cassavetes.
Yeah.
And these are people whose names you will recognize, but you probably don't own anything by them. I, however, do own a couple things by him. But yeah, like he's real kind of like, he's adequate. He probably did a fuckload of television stuff.
It's got to be what it is, because a lot of it sounds like TV music.
Yeah, it sounds like interstitial music, and it comes in banging most of the time.
Like most of the motifs that aren't like keyboard stuff, it's all like it's done with flute, which feels like it was very, very common for TV at the time, like TV thrillers and shit.
Somebody liked Guido and Maurizio De Angelis because those two loved a jazz flute.
No, this shit reminds me of like the Hardy Boys.
From beginning to end of this film, I just kept thinking this feels like someone took an episode of the Hardy Boys and just inserted a lot of gore and boobs.
Yeah.
Like that, if you've ever watched like the Hardy Boys or the Nancy Drew Mysteries, this like it was real cheap, kind of episodic television from that era of the 70s. That is 100% what this feels like. So their film stock probably is pretty cheap.
Yeah. Yeah,
which
and
is
also,
why it looks real flat.
Maybe the fact that so much of it is done, it's like daytime shoots in California, which like all the TV studios were shooting their episodic shit in California because the studios were like literally right there, in Burbank and shit.
That is quite literally why California exists. It's why Los Angeles exists.
Yeah. And so like it very much looks like a TV, like an episode of any sort of thriller or action TV show from like 1981.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Yeah. Anyway.
I am, however, so she, what's her face from the Waltons? She runs out onto the terrace and she has like this little terrace balcony.
Yeah.
I every now and then I fall into these moments where I'm like kind of house envious. And I'll be watching a movie and I'll be like, God damn, I could do so much with a fucking room. I could put so many toys and art in a house like that.
That's a spacious house. I got some thoughts on the house.
Beautiful house. So I was really envious of her little terrace balcony, her balcony, if you will.
Yeah. So she comes running out in slow motion, tries to help him. She shouts, "Daddy!" as he
says he's been hit with a baseball bat many times and he is now unconscious in the pool. I think she could be more helpful.
He's gonna die of skin cancer, anyways.
That's true.
So now we cut to two dudes, Greg and Josh, doing a little very heterosexual goofing off as they drive in their van up to a warehouse and they let themselves in.
And Josh sounds a lot like Kermit the Frog, or maybe Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson.
He has a real Jordan Peterson voice.
Yeah.
And they get to this warehouse, and I guess the deal is that Josh was recently fired. He worked for the Mortuary, and he was recently fired. He's like, hey, this dude owes me money, but he's not going to give it to me. So the plan is I'm going to break into his Mortuary warehouse, pin in that, and take tires, ? And Greg is like, I don't know if theft was on my agenda for today. And so he starts doing the "Are you chicken" noise, the bok bok.
Yeah.
Now,
except that it's like whenever
I don't know if you watched
whenever the Bluths do it on Arrested Development.
That's where I was going. I was going to say I don't know if you watched Arrested Development, but this is that moment where it's very clear on Arrested Development where none of them have ever heard a chicken before.
Why does everybody think that I'm scared of girls?
Because you're a chicken. You're a chicken. Cuckoo-ca-cha! Cuckoo-ca-cha!
What are you doing?
Michael and women? A coodle-doo-ga-doo. That's what I was just telling him.
Look, I haven't found the right girl. When I do, I will ask her out. Has anyone in this family ever even seen a chicken?
Wait, I got the perfect thing.
That's enough.
And so they're all just doing weird sounds because whatever sound he is making, it is not the sound of a chicken. It is barely recognizable as the sound of a mammal.
I've got a note here about the Bluths doing a chicken impression.
That is what's happening in this moment. It is so fucking bizarre. And so they go inside the factory or warehouse, and I was just like, so they're here to raid the box and garbage factory? What is this?
I was going to say, it looks like they're about to accidentally unleash Blackula.
Yeah, it's like, what? So he works for the Mortuary, which, like, as anybody knows, a mortuary is like a small family operation, usually run out of a small home-looking thing. And yet, for some reason, this particular mortuary has multiple giant warehouses in like East LA that's just full of garbage.
Yeah, but he's got to have space to do his satanic rituals in.
But like, he's like, I'm here to steal tires. Why does a
Why
mortuary
does he have tires?
have tires? And like, not just a couple tires, a
lot of
shitload
them.
of tires. Tires will play an unusual role in this film.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a note that says, but seriously, what the fuck is this place?
Yeah, some of the stuff therein makes sense. But other things like tires and guns.
Machine gun?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So among the stuff in the warehouse are some coffins. An arm ominously hangs from one of them. In another room, they find some strange costume stuff in a coffin, including Chekhov's M16 and some embalming equipment.
Doesn't seem
They're
weird
about
to
to-
them.
Nope. They're about to leave when they hear what sounds like singing in another room.
Cut to a amateur reenactment of the Wuthering Heights video.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. Don't expect this plot to get
Have you ever seen
resolved.
Noel Fielding's Wuthering Heights Kate Bush impression?
No.
Oh, you've never seen that from what is that? What's the comedy charity thing? Is it Comic Relief?
I think so.
So the British one, everybody stop what you're doing. Go look up Noel Fielding. Noel Fielding, right?
Noel Fielding, yeah, from Mighty
Richmond?
Boosh.
Yeah. Noel Fielding, Wuthering Heights. He does it spot on. In drag, does the whole thing. It's incredible. This is a cheap version of that.
I love it.
Because they're doing, it's like they peer down from their position in these giant warehouses, and there's a man, Christopher George, in a robe, and like 6 women, nondescript women. They're just California ladies.
Linda Day George.
Linda J. George. She is by far the most beautiful and glorious of them.
She's radiant.
But otherwise, just normal women, just innocent women, gathered around, doing a synchronized dance. And so I think we're supposed to get satanic sex cult, but really they're just doing a synchronized dance.
Yeah. It's a ritual.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what the purpose of it was. They just dancing.
Well, the movie's not going to tell you either.
Nope. Which is a bummer because this is by far the most interesting part of the movie. So Josh now excuses himself to go get the tires he planned on stealing, but they're missing when he goes back to get them. He does find them, but they've been moved. And when he rolls them away, one of them rolls into the coffin with the arm sticking out of it. He lifts the lid and finds a body inside. It's the body of his boss's wife. His boss.
Or does he?
Yeah. Being the dude he just witnessed conducting the ritual. So we cut to Greg, who is still watching the ritual. He turns to leave and finds the door locked. In the other room, Josh is attacked suddenly by a guy in heavy white makeup and a black cloak.
Yeah, surprise Dracula kill. Now, I'm going to tell you something about this. The makeup and the costume, they look cheap as fuck because they are cheap as fuck. But the result of them looking cheap as fuck is that he actually looks really creepy.
Yeah.
This
I
effect
love
will
the
be
way,
ruined later.
Oh, I know. I love the way that he looks. And the choice of his weapon is very unusual. And I also like that.
Yeah, like he looks like he has like a very kind of early 90s black metal thing going on.
He does, actually.
Where it's like his face is kind of all white. So he's wearing like a cloak, like the sexy Christopher George sex cult. He's wearing their cloak. And his face is like all white. And his eyes are kind of blacked out. And like he just kind of has like a,
looks like a member.
90s black metal.
He looks like a member of Immortal.
Yeah. And so like he looks really fucking cool. And I think it is the result of them having no fucking money. And they're like, here, just put this makeup on or whatever. And so he's like, all right, I guess I'll do. Spoiler, it's Bill Paxton.
Yeah. But later on, like she pulls it off like a mask. And I'm like, what?
And that sucks.
Yeah.
Because the makeup looks real fucking cool.
It's cool. It's very cool. It's unusual. Because like at this point, everybody be wearing masks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he gets Josh, who is runs into him. He gets stabbed several times by a trocar, which is one of those long needles they use for embalming.
Yeah, I had to look it up.
Yep. I also had to look it up.
It's a good word. It's like a trepanning thing.
I wonder if we're saying it right.
I think
we got. I know we've got
TROCAR. How else are you gonna say it?
I don't know. Because I know we got a couple of listeners who are like funeral professionals.
No, well, why do we have so many listeners who are funeral professionals?
I don't know. Because we're all weirdos.
Okay.
So Greg wanders around for a bit. And he hears the door open. He ends up back in the other room looking for Josh.
And the fucking soundtrack is working overtime at this point.
Doesn't find anything as the music intensifies. The tension is broken when a tire on a rope drops from the ceiling in front of him.
Yeah, Maestro Casaves is going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting in this movie.
Right. This is the first of a couple of tire jump scares.
In the mortuary warehouse.
Yep. Outside, he sees Greg's van leaving without him. So now that night, with his girlfriend Christie, he tells her all about this weird-ass day he's had. They decide to go to the roller rink where Josh might be. Lucky for us...
The roller rink is banging.
Lucky for us, it's roller disco night.
And hey, you know who my favorite is at the roller disco.
Is it the guy? It's the guy in the white tuxedo?
Oh, you mean the star of the roller rink? Yeah, it's the guy in the fucking glittery cape and tuxedo.
That guy is kicking.
I saw a thing recently. Apparently, there is still a roller rink. I was watching Instagram Reels, as I occasionally do, and there's a guy from I think like the Channel 5 News or whatever. He's kind of a younger dude, and he makes these kind of weird, fun videos about like man about town bullshit. Now, there is apparently a roller rink. It's still very much operational in Saugus. Listener, you
yeah. You drive past it every time you're heading south on Route 1.
Well, I don't head south on Route 1.
No,
and also, I would not pass through Saugus if I headed south on Route 1. But, listener, you don't know, well, you are unlikely to know what Saugus is. It is a town, if I'm being generous, that has seen better days. It is largely comprised of Route 1 and what is left of the shit from the 70s and 80s. And apparently a roller rink is among them. Yeah. Now, in this roller rink, there is a guy who is, I believe, looks like he's probably in his early 60s, who is basically the dude with the glittery cape.
Fucking A.
He is the star of the roller rink. And he's just this guy who goes to the Saugus roller rink every weekend. And people are like, yeah, he's been coming here for like decades.
Shit.
And now I'm kind of like, do I need to go to the site? And the answer is no, I don't. But kind of, do I though?
No, because every time we pass it, I see it. And I'm like, is that place open? It can't be. No, because it's not like on Route 1. It's like set back from Route 1 a ways. Like you can see it from the road, but yeah. Ooh.
Remember the roller rink? Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember Happy Wheels?
Happy Wheels.
They had a flea market every Sunday.
Was that was on the other side of Happy Wheels? Yeah, I stole so many comic books from that flea market.
I bet you could buy butterfly knives there.
Oh, I absolutely. I remember Mike and I bought like throwing stars.
And I would be willing to bet that there was at least one dude who, if you knew the password, would sell you nude photos of his wife.
Yep.
Am I wrong? Prove me wrong.
That and he probably had some like Third Reich memorabilia.
Oh, fuck yeah, he did.
Yeah.
A bunch of landmines you could buy from him. Active landmines.
Hand grenades.
God, so anyway, the 80s were a fucking mess.
It was, a real Wild West.
What are we talking about?
The movie Mortuary, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So when they arrive at the roller rink, they find Greg's van parked in the lot. It's locked.
And Greg goes, oh, it's locked. And my note is, yeah, dummy, it's Los Angeles.
So they go in to look for him, and they find their friends there who inform them that Josh hasn't shown up.
And I have a note here that says, check out Daniel Ash behind them. There was a dude, but like in the scene behind them who had, remember on Venture Brothers?
Yeah.
The guy, Billy, Quiz Kid Billy,
yeah.
his like sidekick guy, there was a guy in the roller rink scene who looked just like that dude, like tall, like side skater hair. Looks like, I mean, Daniel Ash had kind of puffier 80s hair, but like
the guitar player for Bauhaus?
Yeah, otherwise looked just like him.
Awesome.
And Love and Rockets.
And Love and Rockets. When they leave, they find that the van is gone again. So now Christie drops Greg off at home and they make out.
While Dracula creeps around.
Yeah, climbing into the back seat to get a little more comfortable. While they're getting down, the guy in the black cloak drives up in Greg's van and sneaks up in the car with his trocar. He's interrupted when Greg's parents interrupt the action and he runs away.
And Greg's parents remind me of the Ropers.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Why did everybody's parents in the 80s look like they were in their late 60s?
Because they'd been through some shit.
Yeah, that's true. The 70s were tough.
It's tough.
It's like living through now.
Yeah.
Where it's like every day, it's kind of dog years. Every day is a month and a half.
Except back then, everybody had a pension waiting for them at the end.
That's true. Now all we have is sex scandals and depression.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
So, yeah, the next day in school, Paul, with the weird energy, comes up with Christie with a handful of records, offering to play his new Mozart record for her.
Or as he pronounces it, Mozart.
Yeah. And also, he probably should have led with the Doors record that he's also carrying.
And I thought, a new Mozart record, like his latest record?
He just it's hot. He just dropped a new single.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I will wait to hear what Shadow Stevens has to say about it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So she turns him down gently as Greg comes along to take her away. Turns out they found the van at the bus station.
Also, Greg is wearing some serious moose knuckle jeans. I don't want to be crude, but it was distracting.
Look, if you got something to show off, show it off, you know?
Well, why not?
Put it out there. Put your energy out into the world.
I mean, the 80s was all about women being objectified. You know, in retrospect, let's reclaim some of that. Some of that lost ground.
So now, Christie drops him off at the sheriff's station and leaves, driving down the coast with a station wagon close behind, being driven by the guy in the cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he pulls up on her and starts driving all aggressive-like, but she makes it home without incident. All good.
Well, until she gets inside.
Oh, her mom is such a bee.
Her mom's a real bitch about stuff.
So, the interior of the house is some hardcore 70s decor.
Yeah, but they have this fucking like maroon brocade wallpaper, and I was all about that.
It's all cluttered with rich people stuff, dark shag carpet, and heavy drapes.
That wallpaper, though.
Yeah. Christie looks out the back window overlooking the swimming pool from the beginning of the movie, and then her mother surprises her, and it's Linda Day George, who we last saw dancing around at the satanic ritual.
Mm-hmm. And she says, "You have been highly imaginative since your father's accident." And the implication is, can't you just get over it already?
I know.
It was a year ago and he's been dead.
Her mom's kind of a bitch, gaslighting her about the guy driving behind her. And then again, when the topic returns to the topic of her father's murder, which we witnessed as the credits rolled, Christie mouths off and gets slapped for it.
Yeah, it's you don't see it coming.
Nope.
So I did read a weird, kind of interesting comment on this movie where like the slasher film in general introduced this idea that you were no longer safe in your home. Like that's kind of that's the general vibe of Halloween, is that some person, force, whatever, can sort of like blow into town and you are not safe anywhere. This movie takes an interesting approach in that it is that, like, you're not safe at home, but it's not only that the threat comes from outside, but also kind of from inside, in that her mother will spend most of the movie gaslighting her.
Yeah.
So she's like, the threat is psychological and physical.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. It's a wild thing.
It is, and I think it comes. We've sort of explored this a little bit in other sort of slasher movie also rans from the period where it was just sort of like blatant cash-ins by people who didn't really know what a slasher movie was or like how to make it, and sort of like their only sort of points of reference were Agatha Christie novels and Hitchcock.
Mm-hmm.
And so the movies tended to come off a little bit more like thrillers and psychological kind of shit than like Friday the 13th, because like None of these filmmakers could just make a movie where a guy just sort of sets up some people and kills them.
Yeah, just watch Bay
There had
of
to be
Blood.
some dimension. There you go. So now at the sheriff's office, which also looks like a marina, Greg explains why he was at the warehouse to a sheriff who looks like he has definitely thrown his hat on the ground and jumped up and down on it at least twice this week.
Yeah, this sheriff, this role was probably written for Slim Pickens.
He looks like Slim Pickens.
Doggone it, I can't solve no crimes.
He looks like the cops from Last House on the Left.
Yeah.
So Josh's boss, Hank Andrews, is there to accuse him of stealing. They want to know where Josh is. Greg tries to expose Hank for being a Satanist, but they're not hearing it.
Weird.
Yep. That night, Christie is asleep, tossing and turning, calling out for her father, remembering his saggy, violently tanned corpse getting tossed into the pool after a good beatdown. And when she wakes up, she goes downstairs for another look out the back window at the pool as the cloak guy sneaks up on the house.
Here we get the killer POV shot, except we're going to hear heavy breathing. Now, in Halloween, we hear heavy breathing because he's wearing a mask. And that is the sound you would make if your breath was being reflected back to you as it was hitting something. He's not wearing a mask like that. He shouldn't be breathing like... It's just some dude. Like, if you're breathing like that, you need to see a doctor.
But as we're going to find out, it's not makeup. He is wearing a mask.
But he's also wearing so I hate that he's wearing a mask. It fucking ruins so much.
It's stupid. It's so stupid. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need
but
to be
also,
masked. There's no fucking point to it.
It's a latex mask, so it's like
on
stuck
his
to
face.
his face. Yeah. So it's not like a mask like a William Shatner mask where like there's sound reverberating around inside of it. This should not be doing that. So he's just breathing very, very heavily for no particular reason.
Yeah. So now she lets herself out the front door for some reason. I think she's supposed to be sleepwalking.
She is. My note says, "My God, there is so much rattan in this house. It's like the home of a South American drug lord."
She's got that high back rattan chair that Huey P. Newton's been photographed in.
Yeah, that is it. They borrowed that from the set of Emmanuel.
So she heads out back while Cloak Guy stalks her from the bushes. She steps into the pool and walks into the deep end. And Cloak Guy must just be so fucking weirded out by what he's seeing. And she wakes up suddenly when she dips under the water. Coming out of the pool.
Here's my theory. Here's my theory about the pool. This whole scene. I think this whole scene is just an excuse to show this actress in a wet nightgown.
Yeah.
Because there is no other explanation for it.
I can't really figure it out. Because also, like, the sleepwalking thing is another sort of subplot that never gets resolved.
Yep.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah, no, what's going to happen is we're going to try to, basically her mother is, they're going to there's like a whole gaslighting thing where it's like, you're going crazy. And like right after this, she will accuse her mother of being like, you're trying to convince me I'm crazy so you can get rid of me. But it's like, bitch, you are like 22 years old. She could just kick you out. It's not like you're 16 and she has an obligation to take care of you.
Right.
They also play this like Linda Day George is like her stepmother, but she's not. Okay. She's her mother.
Because when the first time I watched this, I was like, oh, so she's like stuck with her bitchy stepmother. And it's like, no. Like this time around, I looked it up and I was like, oh no, they have the same last name. They're like,
yeah,
that's her mother.
Yeah, and they sort of resolve that a little bit later where she's like, oh, you really did love Dad. But like up until that point, she's just like, your father is gone. Get over it.
Right. So, coming out of the pool, Cloak Guy attacks, reaching out with his trocar, whispering her name. Spooky shot. I'll give him that.
Yeah, no, there's some good moments in this movie. There's just not enough good moments.
Oh, no. There's a couple of good moments. Separated by long gulfs of nothing happening.
Yeah.
So she runs back into the house screaming, which alerts her mom, who comes down to tell her that once again, she's just imagining things.
Mm-hmm. And Linda Day George is doing the absolute least. Like, she is just like, she cannot be bothered to muster more than like an eyebrow raise.
Oh, no. See, she was just over in Spain and she gave it her all in the Bastards scene.
Well, okay, yeah, that is true. Once you've done that, what more could you give?
I know, she just left it all on the dance floor.
And then she says to her, why would anyone want to kill you? But she says it in a way, like in a tone that's like, ugh, why would anybody want to kill you?
It's like she's negging her.
She is.
So the next
you're
day,
not even important enough to murder.
The next day, the black station wagon drives through a cemetery, the same cemetery where Greg and Christie are hanging out for some reason. And Greg tells her that he saw her mom dancing around in a satanic ritual, and then she suggests that they're all in cahoots, trying to make her think that she's crazy so they can get rid of her.
She accepts this story real easily. Like, he's like, oh, hey, by the way, your mom is part of a mortuary sex cult. And she's just kind of like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew that's what this was. It
explains everything, puts everything into perspective all of a sudden. So all of a sudden, here comes Weird Paul from out of nowhere with a bouquet of flowers. Mm-hmm. They're for his mother's grave. We're to think.
He's dressed like Johnny from Night of the Living Dead. Sans gloves.
No gloves. I was about to ask about the gloves. No gloves. No, he's got like a fucking bow tie and shit. Like just dressed for an occasion that is not going to lay flowers at his mother's grave.
Yeah.
So we're to think that he might be the driver of the station wagon, but then we see it driving away in the background. Then he happily skips away.
I will describe it as prance skipping.
Yeah, he's sashaying away.
But with like a bounce. He has a bounce in his step.
So happy.
Like it's like he could have done one of those like side kind of like Lucky Charms kicks.
I was about to say he was going to go up and click his heels.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was going for.
Yep. So Greg says he has a crush on Christie, which he very clearly does. Elsewhere in town, Greg drives to his mom's flower shop to pick up some deliveries. Mm-hmm. Mr. Andrews has an order to be delivered first.
Now, Greg's mom is dressed like a flight attendant. Also, this is some insane, serious sitcom acting.
I didn't look up who she is, but she must have come from a sitcom. Because his dad is also, again, the fucking Ropers.
Yeah, it's the mom and dad interaction where I was just like, who are these people and what show did they come from?
Oh, yeah. The shop is at risk of losing Andrew's business because of the whole warehouse situation. So at the funeral home, Hank shows off some coffins to a potential customer, like a used car salesman.
Yeah, it's a real waka waka moment.
Yeah, and then he threatens Greg as he drops the flowers off.
He also makes Greg take Greg's like, hey, can you sign for the flowers? And he makes him take the cap off the pen for him. It's like a real weird power move.
Power move all the way, yeah. It's almost like he's making him light his cigarette for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. If he thinks he can nail him for the whole Satan thing, he's going to end up in one of these caskets.
What is happening in this movie? They have not earned any of this suspicion.
No, Hank, especially since like we're all supposed to think that like Hank's the bad guy, and then later on they're just going to be like, oh, he's the good guy actually.
Except not really. There really is no good guy. It's just bad guys all the way down.
Yeah. So as Greg leaves, Weird Paul comes lurching out of the embalming room and grabs him quietly ushering him into the room with him. And when the door closes, Paul pulls the sheet off a young dead woman for a little creepy necro TNA.
Oh, I was going to say a little gross opportunistic nudity. This is so gratuitous. It is shocking.
There is a subtext to this. Because we've seen this in other movies as well, where it's like, here's a young woman who is dead. Like, let's show you her tits.
Why?
Why? I don't know, because she's dead. As far as this movie is concerned, she's dead. Here's what she looks like naked. Here's what a dead naked woman looks like.
Yeah, and the thing is, dead people, they don't look like people for very long. And so
no.
not that I think that they should like show us decomposing bodies. Like, I don't want to see that either, but I don't want to see like gratuitous nudity of, I don't want sexualizing dead people at all. It's real gross. But like to be like, here's some boobs. What do you think? And it's like, anybody who says that to you is disgusting and you need to get away from them because that is not their only crime.
Yeah, like my primary complaint is that they're like, look at this naked dead woman. Pretty hot, right?
No.
Like,
no, it's not.
What are you doing? Yeah. So he starts the process of embalming her and tells him that the sheriff was there asking all about him, and then suggests that Josh ran away to join the Navy, which sounds about right.
Sure.
Yeah. Paul muses that he hates being an embalmer. Everybody thinks he's weird for it, and he can't land a date. I'm not sure if that's why everybody thinks he's weird, but let's roll with it, I guess.
It could be the Mozart and the bow ties.
He does it because his dad wants him to. So Hank comes in and kicks Greg out and busts Paul's chops for taking too long on the body. And then they drain it of blood.
Gross.
Greg and Christie go to her house that night for some studying, and they find the power out. They light some candles.
First she goes to get them something to eat. And she comes back with a half gallon of milk and what appears to be an entire cake. What a weird thing to snack on.
That was the first thing she saw in the fridge.
I guess.
So they light some candles to set the mood, and they fool around for a little bit. And then he lights a fire in the fireplace and then drops some knowledge on her about sleepwalking.
Mm.
And as they talk, some loud, generic disco music comes on from out of nowhere and scares the crap out of them. So they get up and do some white people dancing.
Wow. Do they ever? Because they basically, this is the dance scene where they just sort of stand in front of each other and waggle their heads back and forth real close to one another.
Yeah, it's like all the dancing and the baby. Yeah.
Yes.
The music stops suddenly. It comes on again, and then again, and then again. And they just stand there like idiots. Christie goes to the phone to call the electric company, finds the phone dead too. All spooked, Greg and Christie grab some
This is where my note says it's like someone added a tone of violence and boobs to the episode of the Hardy Boys.
It is the power is coming on and going off, and their first instinct is like, hey, let's boogie down.
Yeah.
You know?
Why not?
Let's just get down with it. And then it starts like flashing very rapidly, like off, on. And neither of them is like, Jesus Christ, we need to get out of here. What the fuck is happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, that's interesting. But
it would have been great if they just kept dancing. Just off and on. Frantically.
like they stop and then they start again and then they stop. They go grab some fire pokers and they creep over to the door. And then the door opens as they're about to leave, and they make like they're going to bonk the intruder over the head, but it's just Christie's mom who once again tells her that she's just imagining all this crazy shit.
Yeah, her gaslighting is real half-hearted, where she's just like, it happened to me too. I think you're being hysterical.
Oh. So the next day, Greg and Christie drive up to the sheriff's station / marina and spot her mom and Hank talking to the sheriff, but they can't make out what they're saying. They get out and they tail her mom and witness them getting back into the black station wagon. That night at the warehouse, Cloak Guy has a lady tied up in a chair and appears to be applying makeup to her face. Greg and Christie pull up to see if her mom ended up there, but no dice. Now they're about to leave, but Christie gets out, wanting to see what's in the warehouse. She's about to go upstairs where Cloak Guy is, but a tire comes rolling down the steps and spooks her.
More tire action.
Just getting their money's worth out of the tires they bought.
Yeah, they had to buy all 4 of them, so they're like, fuck it. We're using them. We're using all of them.
They wouldn't just let me buy the one. So they go to the mortuary and find the car parked there. Inside, they spot the coven of Satanists in the chapel doing some seance stuff.
And this is like some real 1930s seance, like in the parlor shit.
Yeah. They've all got their hands on the table, and it's like, okay, so your fingers got to touch.
Mm-hmm. They call it table tipping.
Yep. And then they do some table tipping.
Yep.
Hank leads the seance as the table starts a rocking. Seemed to be speaking to the spirit of Christie's dad, trying to suss out who killed him.
Now, I at first was like, oh, this must be like part of the grift or whatever. No. This is just a weird side plot where they're like, also he is a psychic, but you know what? Don't worry about it. It won't come back again.
Don't think about it. This is the last you're going to see of it.
Yep.
So now Greg and Christie get spotted by Paul as they spy on the proceedings, so they leave. And she is so relieved that her mother believes her now about her father. They go back to Christie's.
Right, because in the seance, it's like he is like connecting with her father. And I guess the whole point of the seance is to resolve the tension between Christie and Linda Day George. Like, because she believes that like her mother is part of some cabal of Satanists or whatever. And so this is like, oh no, she really did love him and she is really heartbroken. I guess that's the purpose of this scene.
Okay.
But they drop it in here like it's part of the larger plot, and it's really not.
Nope.
Which makes it even weirder that it's sort of like just a quick aside. Also, seances.
Spooky.
And tires.
So they go back to Christie's place. She just wants to crash out, but Greg's a real S-tier horn dog. So he barges in on the place, puts some moves on her, saying, I want to do something we haven't done in a long time.
Anal.
Butt stuff. That's what I said.
That's so cute, pal. Oh, God.
So they start... So they start making out, and he is just like, he is all over her, just kissing on her super hard. My note says, dog, you got to slow down with the kiss, and it's like you're Italian or something.
Oh, God.
It's like he's eating her face.
He is really going for it.
As they fuck on the floor, we get some killer POV approaching the house. Cloak guy watches them through the window and sneaks around the side. And now as they fuck, Christie catches photos on a nearby table of her mega tanned dad, and it's like he's watching them.
I mean, I have to admit, that would be pretty creepy.
So she puts a stop to it and kind of breaks up with Greg, who seems like a very selfish lover.
He did, because he's like, hey, Christie, you know I care, but it doesn't do you any good to be so frigid.
So as he's leaving, he runs into Christie's mom coming in the house from her satanic ritual. Mm-hmm. And he tells her that they broke up, and she tells him, it'll be okay.
And they're so casual about this moment where he's just like, well, I guess we broke up. Anyway, I'll see you around.
So in this moment, as I was watching this, I seemed, well, it was a false memory, it turns out, but I seemed to remember her kind of seducing him. And I think it's just because the way that the scene is scripted and the chemistry between these two characters is such that it just sort of comes across from Howard Avitas, who's, as it turns out, that's like a common thread in all of his movies, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not what happens.
No, I think it's just because the chemistry between Greg and Waltons is zero, non-existent.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put that on her. I think she's just not giving it her all.
Right.
Now, Linda Day George, she's a sexual being, and she exudes sexuality, and so that's why it just clicks.
Yeah. She's a radiant being, beautiful woman.
Yeah.
So now Linda shuts off the lights and goes to bed, and Christie's having another episode in her room. Wakes up for another sleepwalking sesh. Once again, she goes to let herself out of the house, but finds the door locked. So now she's stalking around the dark with a knife. He gets to the back door, and Cloak Guy pops up at the window, hissing for her to open it so he can touch her.
Another weird scene that's a little bit creepy, because he's like kind of whispering to her to open the window. It's like when
yeah.
Like when the kid appears in
Salem's Lot.
Salem's Lot. Yeah, at the window. And he's just like, open the window. And he's like whispering in this way that's like, and he like presses his face against the window a little bit. And she's just sort of standing there with the knife raised above her head. It's a very bizarre moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, it's very obviously weird Paul and all that makeup now. Like, we get a good look at him for the first time. And she raises the knife and stabs, breaking the window. And it wakes up her mom, and she shows her the broken window. Mom suggests that it might be Paul, who was her father's patient, it turns out.
Yeah, it's just no tact. She's just like, here, let me tell you all of Paul's medical history.
HIPAA wasn't a thing.
Nope. Yeah.
No. So Paul is psychotic, she says. He is obsessed with Christie. Information that probably would have been helpful a lot sooner than this.
Yeah, she's real fucking casual about like the fact that her daughter is being stalked by this dude and her husband was probably murdered by him. She even chuckles a little.
Paul asked her dad if she could marry him, and he got turned out and went ballistic. They're distracted by a noise in the other room as they talk and go check it out, and it's nothing. So Mom pours them all both a nice glass of brandy.
Women being hysterical.
Oh, they just got to have a drink. Yeah,
And
but all the
maybe do a
static
little
between
shopping.
them is gone. So Mom puts Christie to bed, climbs back into hers. The shadow passes before the window, and then a second time, catching her attention. And then Cloak Guy comes barging in and stabs her to death with a trocar, like a lot. It's very metaphorical.
Yeah. And I have a note that just says, I guess that was all the money they had for Linda Day George.
But like the way that it goes down is super sexual.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of grunting, a lot of cuts to Paul's face as he's doing the stabbing, and it's very pleasurable.
a lot of thrusting.
Yep. Yep. So somehow Christie sleeps through all the grunting and screaming. She goes into her mom's room later to find her dead. Then Paul literally leaps out of the closet and chases her downstairs, but she's locked in.
So here's my question. Was Paul's plan to just wait in the closet all night in the hope that at some point she would come check on her mother?
Maybe. Because it's not clear how long he's in there.
Yeah, I mean, he could have waited forever.
Could have.
Also, his weapon, I agree the weapon is very creative, except at this point, the weapon also has a big piece of rubber tubing attached to it.
I love the dangly rubber hose.
Oh, because I was going to say, that makes it less threatening.
There is something that makes it very weird about it. Like, it doesn't need to be there. There's no reason for it. It serves no function. I think that it's just an interesting sort of design detail.
Okay, here's my theory about this. So, in brewing, you use a similar gauge of hosing. And so you have to, usually you connect these things to whatever, like you connect the tube to in this case, the trocar. You take one of the clamps, like one of those screwy clamps. It has a name. I can't remember what it's called. And you screw it on, it tightens the thing. Sometimes you can't get the hose off though, because it is like the gauge of the hose is just a little too small. And so instead you just end up cutting it because it's just cheap hosing. So they probably put this on there for another scene and then couldn't get it off. So they were like, fuck it, just cut it and keep going.
That's awesome. So she manages to get outside and runs down the street with Paul following close behind. She runs into what looks like somebody's house, hides among the plants while Paul stalks around trying to find her.
Oh, is that not her house? I thought it was her house.
I don't know. I couldn't tell because it looks like she runs like down the street, like around.
I think she kind of runs like around the block, maybe, and then that because I thought it was her house. This is where I have my note about the red brocade wallpaper because it actually says how chic it is.
Oh, I guarantee they have hosted many a fondue party in that house.
Oh, I would love some fondue right now.
Fondue, right?
Also, this is where the music is sort of weirdly inappropriate. We're getting like Incredible Hulk walking away music.
Yeah.
Even though he's like stalking her through the many, many plants they have.
It's a real 70s garden.
Yeah.
Paul stalks around trying to find her. He wanders around for some time, but he doesn't see her. Then he just walks away. Christie gets up and runs out of her hiding spot back to the main house.
And it's about here where I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, just wrap this up. This is the longest chase scene I've ever seen.
Oh, I know.
This is like the Helen Shivers chase scene in I Know What You Did Last Summer, but not good.
Yeah. So she goes to call the cops, but Paul is already there, emerging from the darkness. They struggle, and she reaches up and claws his face, removing what turns out to be a rubber mask.
So lame.
Yeah. And then he knocks her out with chloroform.
Which, not a thing you can really do.
Knocks her out with color forms.
I mean, wish I had some of those too. Fucking wish I had some fondue and some gummy bears color forms.
Greg is moping with his friends at the roller disco as they encourage him to get his guitar and go serenade her. So he drives back to Christie's instead and spots a station wagon leaving, so he turns around and follows it back to the mortuary. Paul gets out, gets a cart to wheel her in with. We can also see that he has her mom's dead body in the back seat.
Well, dead is a questionable thing because you can clearly see that Linda DeGeorge is breathing.
Just her breath on the window.
I mean, she's like, look, you're not paying me that much. I'm not holding my breath for you.
Inside the morgue, he lays them both out on tables and tells the unconscious Christie that he's going to embalm her and begins the process.
Well, he says he's going to sedate her first. And I was like, that seems kind of like an unnecessary step if you're just going to kill her.
Right.
What do I know? I'm not an embalmer, but still, you know.
Yeah. And so then he slowly undresses her as Greg sneaks up on the joint. And then there's a long period of Paul just lovingly washing the body.
Yep, more gratuitous nudity. Because you know what's next to dead women? Unconscious women, it's pretty much just as creepy. I would just like, if people are going to be nude, I want them to be alive and consenting.
So Greg is trying to find a way in as a station wagon pulls up. So he hides and he sees Hank enter the mortuary. Inside, Paul is monologuing as he preps the equipment for the embalming. He's about to cut into her carotid artery when he hears noise, and he quickly does what he can to cover up the bodies. And in walks Hank, who is mad as hell. He demands to know
here, Bill Paxton's jaw work in this scene is insane. He's like a rubbery Jim Carrey face.
Again, it's that enthusiasm. He is doing his best with what he's got because he's taking his acting seriously.
Well, I appreciate it.
So I do too. You know, like it may be a shitty, trashy slasher movie, but you know, you gotta do your best.
Yep.
So he demands to know what Paul is doing there, and he accuses him of following Christie around and thinks that he had something to do with her dad's death. Then Paul confesses and then gestures to the table, confessing to the murder of her mother, and then reveals that he has Christie on the table as well. Hank tries to reason with him, get him turn himself in. But Paul freaks out and stabs a stab with a trocar, and he dies. Oops.
And at this point, you're like, I don't fucking care. Why is this movie still on?
There's still a little ways to go. It's a little crazy.
It's like the end of Phantasm. If the end of Phantasm went on far too long.
Oh, God, I know. Upstairs, Greg finally sneaks in through a window and has a look around while Paul sets up to stab him should he come into the embalming room. Greg tries the door, but it's locked, so he moves on until he finds one that isn't. And then inside is just a big old crucifix lit dramatically. Weird, I guess.
Yeah.
He wanders around until he finds an open door and a table with Hank's body on it. He wheels it out into the hall. Then inside, he pulls a cover off of a body, and it's Paul who is hiding with his weapon. Paul tells him that he and Christie are getting married, and then he trots off, locking Paul in the room.
It would have been great if he did like that hop, skip, run thing that he did in the. It would have been just as fun.
Greg checks his surroundings for anything that he can use, and he finds a fire axe on the wall. Meanwhile, Paul has left the building with everybody in the station wagon and loads the bodies into the warehouse. He sets them up in this tableau, bodies in chairs, dressed for a wedding, I guess?
Now, I have a note that says this wedding feels a lot like the weddings that I went to at the Elks Lodge when I was in my 20s. Just saying.
Just come as you are.
Yep.
So he plays his Mozart record, conducts the invisible orchestra with the trocar, while Christie's body waits under a veil on a nearby table.
But also, there's a wedding cake? Where did he get a wedding cake?
He prepared. He's been waiting for this his whole life.
So the cake's probably stale, is what you're saying?
It's probably pretty gross. It's probably been sitting around for like a week. So he dresses the bodies like a crazy person. There's also the wedding cake. Dude just thought of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul talks to the body of his mother, who was supposed to have killed herself. And then he suggests that she faked
or
her
did
death.
she?
Yeah. That she faked her death. And then Josh saw, so he had to die. But she's also not moving, so who knows? Yeah. Paul then goes to resume cutting Christie's artery, but Greg arrives with the axe. And Paul monologues some more. It's awesome, if I'm being honest.
This
So
is
he
like,
tries
you have sat through this entire fucking movie just to get to this scene, so relish it.
Yeah. And he tries to slip by Paul, but Paul causes him to drop the axe. So he reaches into the casket and recovers Chekhov's M16.
There it is.
Yeah. And there's a standoff. Will the gun work? Probably not. And then actually it does, sort of. Greg shoots Paul, but they're just blanks, baby.
Of course they're blanks, but why was the gun there to begin with?
While they face off, Christie wakes up and gets off the table. Then she quietly recovers the axe and sneaks up on Paul with it, gently hitting him in the back with it. But it seems enough to
and
drop
then
him.
about 7 gallons of blood pour out of Paul's back very slowly.
I love it.
I appreciated it, honestly.
So Greg gets her to give up the axe and he tosses it aside like he's never seen a horror movie before. He hugs her to comfort her. Then we pan around the bodies in the chairs. And then Paul's mom gets up and screams, cake knife ready to stab. Roll credits.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This movie's terrible. This movie is very bad.
It's a fucking shit show. I don't know. I don't know. I remembered this way more fondly than I received it this time. And I don't know why. I think it's just because the presentation is very strange.
Okay, so I think that's what it has going for it is I do appreciate this era of filmmaking when there was a lot of international filmmakers coming to either the US or like American studios going and looking for filmmakers from outside of the US. And so they give us movies like this, like Juan Picor, who goes on to make Pieces. These dudes who make these movies through a very specific non-American lens that gives them this very odd tone and a little bit strange aesthetic. I really like that, like X-Ray and Pieces. Like there's something about that where I'm like, you're doing something very, very weird. And I kind of like that. It's not enough to make your movie good, but I at least have seen it, and I guess I appreciate that much about it.
Yeah, it's like they were given a directive, or in this case, like they were like, we're just going to capitalize on this new slasher thing. We're going to make a slasher of our own, and they probably watched some of the movies that they were trying to ape, and they came to a conclusion where they were like, I don't like these movies, but I got to make one. So like, how do I make it interesting in a way that these ones are not to me? Because
I don't. It's not, maybe not. I don't like. Well, maybe it is. I don't like them, but I don't understand them.
I don't understand them is also an explanation that I could accept as well.
Like I don't know why these people are doing these things. It's like if someone asked me to make a Bollywood movie, I would do my best to make a Bollywood movie based on the ones I've seen, but it would still feel very, very strange and very inauthentic. But right, probably in a way that someone is like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, because like at the time that this movie went into production, there were really only 2. There was Halloween and there was Friday the 13th. And both of them have very, very similar sort of killer's motivations where it's just there are people here and I have to kill them. And some people very obviously have watched these when like in the days following it where like they were like, oh shit, these movies make a lot of money and I stand to make a lot of money if I make one. But they can't seem to get past just a guy kills a bunch of people and then the girl kills him at the end. Like that's just, I don't know, it's not enough for them or whatever. Or they don't understand why that's interesting, or they want to add some dimension to it that's not like those. And so you end up with these strange
I think it's that they don't understand why it's scary in the first place, especially if they're not American. because Halloween, the fear that is derived from Halloween is from, I think, it's not a uniquely American thing, but it is a specifically American thing that is like the crumbling of connection that is very late 70s, early 80s sort of capitalist fear of like anybody can hurt you and they might. And that, I think, for non-Americans, they're probably just like, I don't understand why. Like, of course, that's an obvious thing. Like, why is that frightening to you enough to make a movie? So they're like, I guess I'll just make a movie where some dude creatively kills people for no particular reason. And it's like, because they don't get what the actual reason is, because to them, that's just sort of a given.
Yeah, because I can think of a couple of other of examples that are really kind of reflective of this. Like Jess Franco's Bloody Moon is
also, I fucking love that movie.
Is a slasher movie through and through, but it's like he does not understand, because it's him doing Halloween, but it's him, but it's all very, very weird. Like Jess Franco's misunderstandings of it. Like in his version, like Michael wants to fuck Laurie. And like, that's the whole...
Well, it's him doing Halloween. It's not only that he doesn't understand the whole plot of Halloween. He also just doesn't understand young people in general.
Yeah.
So he just comes across as like, what is this weird sex film?
Yeah. And then the on the other end of that is Final Exam, which almost does it note for note. I know I'm going to upset the Final Exam purists, but it follows the slasher movie like note for note, but it is missing not just something, but like a lot of things. And I don't understand.
You know what it's not missing, and that it has one thing the other movies don't have. Yeah.
It's got radish is what it's got. And so, yeah, there is something I am very, very interested in a lot of these movies that are trying to just make money off of the popularity of these, but they just don't quite figure it out. Some of them are interesting. A lot of them aren't, but I appreciate the approach. I think that's about the best I think.
You know what this is, movie. What this feels like? This, to me, I think, if nothing else, it's weird and kind of funny in the way that it is weird, but it's also extremely boring. But it is an example of that era when all the studios are trying to cash in on the latest craze. This is an example of when that backfires. And it's maybe interesting because of that.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's worth a watch. Just good God, beware, because this movie fucking drags. Oh well, where are we off to next?
All right, well, in next week, 99-cent rental returns with, as you said, Karate Warrior, real sexy picture, Filipino sexy picture, and in 2 weeks we will be, I don't even know why, but for some reason, talking about the sequel to Stephen King's Salem's Lot, The Return to Salem's Lot, because someone thought, that movie was pretty good. You know what it needs? A satirical sequel.
Oh, no. You know what? I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Oh, it's so bad in the weirdest fucking way. It's a Larry Cohen movie through and through.
Oh, fantastic. All right. So see us back here for this really fucking strange Karate Kid ripoff, Karate Warrior, and then we'll be back in 2 with Return to Salem's Lot.